Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have a short clip featuring President Donald Trump of the United States of America answering one question at the Economic Forum in Davos. There's a panel of 4 individuals on the stage and a person who is an ass kisser. That is the guy on the far right. That is the announcer, the person who's going to introduce these guys right here. All these guys are, one is with energy, and the other ones are with investment, and the other ones are with the banks. So again, as I always say, the 3 pillars of the who's in charge of this world is the financial, is the military, industrial complex, and is the energy sector. We have them on the stage. The first person will be Mr. Steve Schwarzman, or Schwarzman, all right? And he's the CEO of Blackstone Group. He's the first one given the opportunity to ask Trump a question. Mr. Schwarzman is going to be very eloquent in his question, in the way that he chooses his words, his tonality, his inflections, his pace. He's fantastic. You can tell the guy is, and he's very pointed. You can tell the guy is very well arranged in his head, and he knows what he wants to ask and what answers, or at least what his questions are, and would like to know from Trump, the President of the United States of America, what his answers will be to his questions. This video is made to contrast Mr. Schwarzman, who I don't like, with Donald Trump, whom I like. And I can tell you that, I don't know about you, but if you reach a certain age or a certain experience in your life, you should be able to distinguish, figure out a guy who's self-confident, a guy who knows what he's doing, a guy who's smart, a guy who's ballsy, versus a person who is scared, is not self-confident, doesn't have a high self-esteem, is afraid to answer a question, is going to find non-words. This is exactly what Donald Trump will do in this one, will find non-words to put in his answer that have nothing to do with the whole answer, and eventually he's not going to give any answer. So why? I contrast that with an evil guy called Putin when he's asked a question. I super dare you, to be a little bit woke here, I super duper dare you to go and watch Putin's answers when he's asked the question, and put that, contrast and compare that to Trump's answering a question outside of his regular campaign, parenting, whatever he said for 1,000 times. All right, so first, let me introduce you to this guy right here, Stefan Schwarzman. Stefan Alan Schwarzman is an American businessman. He's the chairman of and CEO of Blackstone Group, a global private equity firm. All right, this is very important, this guy, this baboon over there. Now, Schwarzman was raised in a Jewish family, so he's Jewish, was raised in a Jewish family. Okay. Nevertheless, here is this. I'm going to just start the video. I don't know how long I'm going to let it go, because Trump is going to go in the fields like, oh my God. And you'll see. Maybe you don't. And I'm the baboon here.
And in Florida, Mr. Steve Schwarzman, Chairman, CEO, and co-founder of Blackstone Group. So, Steve, floor is yours.
Well, Mr. President, I'm sure the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia will be really glad you gave this speech today. You've had the busiest 4 days that anybody can imagine, and congratulations for that. My question is about some of the things I've observed here at Davos. It's a terrific forum. I've met lots of people, as usual. I think I've been here 30 years. And a lot of the European business people have expressed enormous frustration with the regulatory regime in the EU, and they attribute slower growth rates here because of the numerous factors, but especially because of regulations. And you've taken a completely different approach in this area. And if you could explain the theory of what you're doing, how you're going to do it, and what you expect the outcome to be, I'd appreciate it.
All right. Did you hear what the question was? What is your ideology? How will you do it? How will you do that? Your methods. And then in the end, what will be the outcome? Very clear. What you stand for, what's your rule, what is your creed, how you will do it, how you will implement it, and what will be the outcome. Very easy. Now you're going to hear our president answering those three issues. My God, I'm so irritated.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Steve. You're a friend of mine, but on a great career. You have had an amazing career, and it continues. I just want to congratulate you. Very inspirational to a lot of people. I want to talk about the EU, because you mentioned specifically that I've also had a lot of friends and leaders of countries. I've gotten to know them all my first term and a little bit during this period of 4 years, and know them well, like them a lot. But they're very frustrated because of the time everything seems to take to get approved, environmental impact statements for things that you shouldn't even have to do that, and many, many other ways that it takes. And I'm going to give you a quick little example. In the private life, my beautiful private life, before I had all these things happening, the world is a little different. I had a nice, simple life. You knew that. But when I had that simple life, I did projects, and I had a big project in Ireland, and it had to get approval on something that would have made it even better. And I got the approval from Ireland in a period of a week. And it was a very, very, very efficient, good approval. And they informed me, though, the problem is you're going to have to get it from the EU, and we think that'll take 5 to 6 years. And they said, you have to be kidding. And this was before politics. And I said, wait a minute, it's not that important. I don't want to go 5 or 6 years, but it would have been a big investment. It would have been nice, and it would have been good for the project. And I sent the people to the EU to see if they could speed it up. And basically it was a 5 or 6 year wait just to get a simple approval that Ireland gave me in a period of literally not much more than a week. And I realized right then, that was the first time I really was involved with the EU, but I realized right then that's a problem, and I didn't even bother applying to do it. Or if I did, I pulled it very quickly. I have to be very accurate because I don't want to be criticized. He did apply, actually. No, I want to be very accurate. So I don't think I did, but if I did, I pulled it very quickly. It was just something you couldn't wait 5 years or 6 years to get an approval. So a lot of in a very big business sense, a lot of people are claiming that's the problem. From the standpoint of America, the EU treats us very, very unfairly, very badly. They have a large tax that we know about, and a VAT tax, and it's a very substantial one. They don't take essentially don't take our farm products, and they don't take our cars, yet they send cars to us by the millions. They put tariffs on things that we want to do. Like, for instance, I think they actually, in terms of, these are non-economic or non-monetary tariffs, and those are very bad, and they make it very difficult to bring products into Europe, and yet they expect to be selling, and they do sell their products in the United States. So we have, hundreds of billions of dollars of deficits with the EU. And nobody's happy with it, and we're going to do something about it, but nobody's happy with it. So I think the EU has to speed up their process. Friends of mine that are in some of the nations within the EU, great people, they want to be able to compete better, and you can't compete when you can't get go through the approval process fast. There's no reason why it can't go faster. So, you know, I'm trying to be constructive because I love Europe. I love the countries of Europe, but the process is a very cumbersome one. And they do treat the United States of America very, very unfairly with the VAT taxes and all of the other taxes they impose. One other, just to finish up, I got a call from the head of a major airline, one of the biggest airlines in the world, and he said, "Sir, could you help us? What? Landing in Europe is brutal. They charge us fees for everything, and it's so unfair." I said, "How does it compare to China?" He said, it's much worse. And the other thing, as you know, they took court cases with Apple, and they supposedly won a case that most people didn't think was much of a case. They won 15 or 16 billion from Apple. They won billions from Google. I think they're after Facebook for billions and billions. These are American companies, whether you like them or not. They're American companies, and they shouldn't be doing that. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a form of taxation. So we have some very big complaints with the EU. Thank you.
That's the answer. That was his answer. Was it too deep for me? When he talks about we have this, we all that, things like this, oh, we're good, we're fantastic. What exactly are you talking about? Did he tell you his plan? His foundation, like, no man, we don't like this, we don't like blah blah. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna talk with these guys. We're gonna get in a room. We're gonna blah 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 blah, and this is gonna be the outcome. Did he say that? No. Did you like it? Did you like it? And besides, he said, well, we have a deficit with trade deficit with the European Union. Why? Because they don't want to buy anything from here. Not anything. They don't want to buy shit. That's why you have a deficit. Have your beautiful industry back, the manufacturing, and sell it better built, and then you can penetrate that. It's our food sucks. Why? Because the Europeans want you to list what kind of hormones and garbage you put in your food, and the Europeans want that. They give a longer list. So remember, we have in the processing, raising a cow, you put all kind of things in that. Chemicals, and try to get the cow fatter and all that. Now the Americans ask you to list this much of what you put in the product. The Europeans have the list like this, but in reality the list is like this. So this guy is complaining they don't take our cars. Well, put aside the fact that the European Union is a communist country, union, right? I give him that. I understand what he's saying. My point here is with how he say it. I don't understand he asked you a clear, what the hell is that? I'm sorry, this answer for me, it was of a person who was afraid to say anything. And he gave me 3 examples, his own thing that he couldn't remember if he applied, if I did it quickly, but I have to be, yes, you have to be accurate. You have to be in all your cognitive functions. Right there. Otherwise, go with Biden fishing at the seaside. Not even fishing. Sleeping over there. Then he gave the other example with airlines. And then another example. Thank you very much. I'm dying right here. So if you like that, good for you. For me, what the hell is that? What is this? I dare you to go and listen to the bad guy Putin's answers. And he will not find a lot of little flowers. We're doing actually fantastically and beautifully. I think it's a good thing. Beautifully, yes. And they're good, fantastic. And yes, we're the best. Yes, but they should do change. What are you talking about? That's not how a clear mind speaks. Do you think he had to go like this? If he had to go like this, who's in charge? He's like a student in the principal's office. You can't be coherent and say, hey, principal, I tell you, I did this exactly because your policy sucks and your policy is this, and I smacked that person in the face because of your policy, and the result was that blah, 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 blah. That's how you talk. That's how you talk. Really? I think the principal talks like that to you, but you as a student, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, this was just, for me, and Trump is not an imbecile. Trump is a billionaire. What is going on? I mean, he didn't succeed in life with, or if he did, we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong. Something we are indoctrinated with, something, a certain kind of behavior that really doesn't help us, I don't know, be the President of the United States of America or be billionaires or something. Well, you can become millionaires, but not billionaires. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You don't have to agree with what I said here, but I think, imagine that you ask someone a question and he's answering like that. You want, and compare that with a Jewish guy who's talking straight, paced himself. He's not Which one? I would rather talk to the other guy than with Trump regarding an issue. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.